Okay, since I don't have any privacy anyway, I eventually will get another phone or tablet or something that he's not going to know about. But I want to have some kind of blog somewhere where I can at least talk about my crafts and have some kind of outlet and teach others about creativity, inspire others about this. Here is a wonderful quilt I found in this new book I got at the. I'm trying to pull down my skirt. This this new it's like a thrift place where you can go and you buy donated yarn and fabric and scraps people don't want. And I found this wonderful book. It's by I think McCall's Needlework and Crafts. And I found this awesome quilt in here. And I mean, this is what you would call a true scrap quilt. And see these little pieces, the borders, it's got some like really little pieces. And that's what makes it so interesting, especially down here. And what those are, well, you can tell better like right there, that square right there. Not the pink one, the one under that. All that is a basic square cut in half. And you just arrange them. And sometimes the pattern is called broken dishes. Sometimes the pattern is called hourglass. And it's got different names, at least those two names. Maybe sunshine and shadow, depending on how you arrange them. Like having the lighter ones on one side and the darker ones on the other side. That particular block or pattern has two of those names. This is like a sunshine and shadow example right here. Um, so I guess this is what all that extra, see all that extra fabric over there? It can be cut into blocks, cut into shapes, and made into blocks, and you can make something beautiful. Like what I'm trying to do, like see that doorway there? Trying to find something to put in that doorway to divide the living area from the bedroom area where you sleep. Over here, these little blocks, I think it might be 16 patch is what that's called. This down here is called log cabin. And this particular star here is called Ohio Star. The one in the middle is a Lone Star. This here, uh, normally there are like 6 spokes to the star, but here you got 8. But anyway, that pattern with the diamonds and then the squares is called Dutch Rose. That's what that pattern is called. And I don't know what that one's called, but that is a very common one. This here is called Windmill. That's an Ohio Star there. That's Bear Paw. This here is called Courthouse Steps. And that too, Courthouse Steps. This here is called Pineapple. This here, I don't know, it looks like a 9 patch with crosses. The first thing I think of is crosses and losses. Okay, here's a bunch of those squares and those half squares pieced into a border. This pattern is called Wild Goose or Wild Goose. No, it's not Wild Goose Chase. It's like Birds in Flight or something like that. Geese in Flight or Birds in Flight, but quite possibly Birds in Flight. Okay, let's see if I can recognize any other patterns. Okay, we already said log cabin. This is Jacob's ladder here. those dark ones. They did it in a Jacob's pattern, and that's what that's called, with those dark ladder looking things. Those dark pieces in the center. Anyway, and over here, what they're doing, they're cutting out like snowflakes and other shapes, and you can like trace around them on the fabric, and you can do what is called a pleat. I don't know if they have anyone like, they may have one or two of them. This, I think that's what that is. That is, I don't know what that shape is, some kind of wheel that they appliqued on there. That's how they do those big, glorious pineapple quilts, anyway. Okay, and what you do is you get all your shapes cut out, and you cut some of these strips to divide them. And I think like, oh, this quilt has got me wanting to get back in quilting. I've been in rug making for 2 years now, and this makes me want to get back into quilting. I love the scrap quilt. And this shows you a little bit of how you can graph them. You graft you get these graph paper, like it's got these lines on it. I suppose you want to do a simple shape, and all it is a section of the graph. You've got a line going that way, and you got a line going this way, and then you divide it here. You divide two of the squares, and then you cut it out, and then you got the exact equal in proportion to shapes that you're gonna put on a template. And you make your templates out of cardboard, but you graph them. If you want to get exact, you design them on graph paper first. Then you cut out your shapes. And I have some templates buried under all that mess that I was using like a couple of days ago. But I know I don't have time to like use all this fabric I'm using, so I'm gonna have to. I mean, it was fun to go through it, but I don't have time to like. I'm finishing up my rug. I got a rug I'm finishing, and when I get that finished, then I got an idea of making another rug. Make one for spring. Call it spring in full bloom or something like that. Or if it's early spring, call it spring is in the air. But anyway, I just wanted to share with the public and with you homemakers, a quilt like this, all stitched up. Even a quilt top like this could bring $100 or more. And if it's like sewn and made into an actual quilt, of course you'll have to study quilting, but and bound all around, you're looking at, of course, when you start selling your quilts, if you're going to make a big grand one, I would like go lower in price, like $250, and don't make the stitching too